The Premier League, the holy grail of English football. The grand stage where dreams can be made and also shattered. In the opening season of the Premier League, there were 22 teams that started this brand new era of English football. And Blackburn Rovers were one of them. Now, fast forward 25 years and we've just been promoted from the third tier of English football. After years of turmoil, Rovers have finally turned a massive corner as they try to get themselves back to the promised land. But wait! Venky's, the balmy owners who have caused chaos since their arrival, have yet made another bonkers move by replacing crowd favourite Tony Mowbray with this haphazard clown as manager. Can this rookie steer Rovers to the great beyond? Or will his lack of knowledge and experience drag Rovers to football obscurity once again? Now with this clown in charge, there'll be tears, laughter, and of course, plenty of drama. Join me as we try to make Blackburn Rovers great again. Hello folks, welcome back to yet another episode of my Football Manager 2019 series called Make Rovers Great Again, and we are back at a brand new season, kicking off against Watford. Now we'll get to that in just a second, but to want to let you know that we've been very, very active in the transfer market this time out. We've gone for a bit of a phase here, a bit of a reboot. Decided to sell a whole host of first team players and try and focus and build something from the ground up. And there's quite a few surprises, and we're going to go through that with you now. But if you're not sitting down, you might want to sit down, because a lot of, maybe fan favourites, definitely from my point of view, have left. Let's take a look at it. As you can see on the left and the right, very, very busy. First and foremost, let's take a look at the outs. Let's just back it up a hair, see if we lost any over the pre-season or in the middle. But anyway, Christian Chew, that's right, he's off to Crystal Palace. He was actually on quite a crazy amount of money, over 100k for his efforts, and I thought, to be honest with you, he's not justifying that. He does score goals, but he's one of those middle ground players that just weren't good enough. I'm going to jump past these loans because a lot of them don't make sense to you. But then we got Kevin Acumen. I've got rid of him. Took a bit of a hit on him. I just let him go for free. He wasn't getting any game time whatsoever. He only made the 3 appearances for Rovers after we bought him for $2 million. He's off to Millwall, and it seems to be a decent acquisition for them. Maybe he can reboot his career. Victor Nelson, that's right, probably the first signing we ever made, has gone to Fulham. And again, because of the depth we were getting in defence, since the first 2 seasons, he's kind of dripped slowly out of my sort of picks, because I think we have enough decent options in defence. But again, 26 years of age, he's still got a chance to kind of kick on, but he won't be doing it with Rovers. Matty Cash as well scored some vital goals for us over the years. We sold him for a £1 million profit, but as you can see from the numbers, he only had one really standout season, but then again he was fleeting, and I don't want to hold the kid back. He might still break into the England team, give or take. He's got probably 2 seasons to do that. Might as well do it somewhere else with Swansea. Jamal Lascelles. Now we took a monstrous hit on this one. We bought him for 17 million, sold him for 2.7, and again, he was making decent numbers, but look at the averages. Is not what I'm looking for. Guys, very high 6s into the 7s averaging, as we're trying to, with that collapse where we just, fell out of the old Champions League reckoning and all that kind of good stuff. I think we need to kick on now and make a statement of intent. Oh, Owen Winsdahl, my Dutchy friends out there, will be kind of kicking themselves on this one. Yes, big profit on the guy, but with Patucha at left back, I think that's the future for me. I think he came in and he did really well. The only concern is I don't really have a decent stand-in. I think Winsdahl and Patucha they kind of bounced off of each other. If one was out, the other one came in, and they made their position their own. Gareth Bale, obviously, we talked about towards the end of the season. He's gone to Frankfurt for at least the season. Again, he was on mega money. He had 2 good seasons for us. Kind of fanned out a little bit in that last season, but he did score some goals. Now here we go, here's some of the big ones. Nemanja Zavanovic, he's on loan actually at Dortmund, but he was sold to Paris Saint-Germain for big money, 53 million. And again, as I said towards some of the episodes in the last season, he wasn't he's still good, very young, and he could be elite, like really elite. But I just felt that we had a lot of youngsters coming through the ranks, strikers-wise, that kind of, I don't know, they offered a little bit more than him.
And then when the money came around, and I thought, PSG, you can't really say no to that, and I let him go. And then shortly after, Waldemir went. And this one was a big one, a hard one to decide. Look at the numbers: 50 goals and 87 appearances for Rovers. This one's probably going to hurt the most. I didn't really want to do it, but I thought Bayern, 66 million. It's a lot of good money there. We can rebuild. And again, like Zivanovic, we do have a lot of strikers on the books that can come in and hopefully can kick on. You know, I was in that dilemma last season when I was playing the two up front with Zivanovic, Gunn, Waldemir, Adar, and there was even the Italian fella who's probably, you know, had a season of struggles last season, couldn't really get in the team, you know, waiting in the wings. So I thought we had too many strikers on the books, so I thought, what the heck. Adam Armstrong has gone to the Holland. We sold him for about 3.4 million, a lot less than the asking price, but to be honest with you, we're just holding him back. Loan after loan after loan after loan. He did feature prominently in our early days, but you know, it was time. It's time for him to move on. Who else? Lewis Couré went on loan to Cardiff. As much as I want to feature him, it's very difficult at the moment to him to get into some first team action. So he's gone down to the Championship with Cardiff. Paulo Henrique, he was unhappy last season because he couldn't get ahead of Bogle or Nyambe. So he could barely feature. Look at it, 5 appearances in the Blackburn Rovers shirt. Kind of a stupid one, this one. He actually shot up in value as well. So I think Southampton have got themselves a bit of a bargain. And then we have a whole host of other loans going out to the affiliates and all that kind of stuff. Now let's take a look at some of the ins. Now we're just checking in on that. We bought in this youngster, Everaldo, young midfielder, could go all the way, 5-star potential, very hot prospect, 18 years old. He could feature much this season. We kind of rebooted the midfield, and that's what I'm focusing on Garcia with somebody else alongside him to kind of rip open the league. We brought in Adam Wilson. He's a bit of a dud as a backup goalkeeper. He's gone back out on loan to Hereford. Lennart Hartman, we brought this youngster in as well. Again, kind of a bit of a panic buy, really. 5.25 million from St. Pauli, but it could be decent. He needs to buck up his training though. He's on the slump at the moment. We brought in this young South African centre back. He's gone straight out on loan to Houston over in the MLS. And again, one for the future, perhaps. Leonard Mustafi, Kosovan guy. I don't know. I was on scouting missions big time, looking everywhere for a potential bargain. But he's gone out on loan to Stockport, and hopefully he can score some goals for them bad boys. Then we got this guy. Picked up a lot of big teams were sniffing around this guy, Danjel Stevanovic. Again, alongside Everaldo and Garcia, this could be a very deadly three-man midfield if we go down that road. Very hot prospect as well, Serbian, 20 years old. We also brought in Ricardo Edwards, the youngster on loan, from his contract expired at Spurs. I thought I'd snap him up. He might turn out to be something decent. We got Chris Sutton as well from Arsenal. Big pickup this one. That's right, not the real Chris Sutton, but the rebirth of the SAS. Callum Wright as well, same deal. His contract expired at City. Thought I'd pick him up. Trying to rebuild my English contingent. Joe Musto, we did pick up this fella, but we loaned him straight back out to Sheffield United. He was the top, was he top goal scorer? I think he was the top goal scorer in the Championship last season. We kind of did a similar thing with Clark when we had him, but we never gave him the time. And I thought about this with Zivanovic in mind, that maybe we could actually reboot and have an English contingent. David Mazzucci as well, young prospect. It looks like he's going to go straight back out on loan from Man United. We picked up Eden Hazard. So out goes Bale, in come Hazard. Big pickup this one. Still got a lot to offer. His pace that might not be the greatest, but who cares? Tony Talbot as well from Arsenal. Prospect. Hopefully we can get the best of him. Victor Valsquez. We picked him up from Colombian Millonarios. Very decent winger. We've got a few of those on the right-hand side. Left-hand side is an area of concern. Ali Armstrong. Big pickup. This is our big signing of the season. Hot wonder kid out in Scotland. 3 caps already from Celtic. 20 million. Very decent on the left-hand side. And that was an area that I really wanted to focus on. David Raya. We picked him up. I saw Newcastle were in for him. And I thought, you know what? I want him back at the club. Because, Raya has been phenomenal. So he's going to be competing with Mughrabi for the number 1 spot. So, so much to talk about. Victor Lizarazi, Uruguayan striker as well. Hoping to fill in the void for Waldemir, a.k.a. and Zivanovic. Again, hot prospect. Only 19 years of age. And Ida Vasquez, another prospect striker, Paraguayan, could go all the way. A lot of transfers, so much to talk about, but really that's just the thing, the kind of the short and skinny of it. Also released, we've let these bad boys go. Busquets has packed it in. Woodman, Vorosanovic, Simmons, Moles, Simba, and Dowell. And we're going to kick off the season up against Watford at Vicarage Road. And we are, obviously, with the new reboot, we're going to go with a new formation. That's right, folks. We are mixing it up a bit. Going to go with a 4-3-3 of sorts. A couple of changes need to be made here. Bogle will come in for Nyambe. Murillo is no good on the bench. Now, so we're going to go with this lineup. I'll explain it a little bit. Mograbi, Patucha, Toto, Miranda, Bogle, Torreira, Garcia, Stepanovic gets a debut. Domingos, Piotto, and Flichit on the left-hand side. Now, Flichit is the biggest hope that we have in the academy. He's come through. He's 18 years of age. He's yet to play a senior game for us. I want to give him a go, debut and all that. See how he goes. Also on the bench we're sticking Judd Blair as well. It's kind of panned out a little bit, but he's still former England Inter-21 international. Hoping he can rekindle his goal scoring boots. He didn't do too well at Derby, but he's here. He's in the mix. What else do we have? Eden Hazard on the bench, perhaps. But yeah, this is it, folks. The new look Rovers. Watch us get tonked 10-0. Okay, quick look at the Watford lineup. Philip leads the line, German. Gray, is that the guy that we used to have? Damari Gray, it is. Playing on the right-hand side. We got him on the left. Let's go for it, guys. Vicarage Road, the venue. Piotto gets the start. He's the crucial man today, trying to be the one who scores the goals. Now, he was a very good prospect for Italian football. Obviously, on the books at Juventus, we picked him up. I think paid decent money for him last season. Couldn't get him in the team. When he got the opportunities, didn't really score the goals. So we're going to see how he fares today with Gunn on the bench, Adar on the bench, Blair maybe given a chance. So we'll see how we go. Ultimately, new formation, new setup, and all that kind of stuff. A draw here would be fine, just to get the wheels moving. So 30 minutes gone, and not really anything to get excited about. But here we go. Patucha. Piotto, loose ball, headed clear. Stepanovic picks up the ball. Nice down to Domingos. Garcia does like a strike. He does like a strike. We are pinning our hopes. I think he is our main man, Franco Garcia, at the moment. Valued at 40-odd million. Got his first Argentinian cap. And he's got his first goal of the season as well. Domingos involved. Again, Domingos has been with us for a couple seasons, but he's just found it difficult because of the way we've played in the past with our 4-4-2. But I've decided I really need to, hang on a minute, here comes Watford. Ward-Prowse. So Mugrabi really does have to keep on his toes because Raya is a good keeper. It's loose ball, Ward-Prowse again. Here comes Watford looking for an equaliser, and it goes over. So I think we've got, like, Klinsmann was decent. He was just, he wasn't going to press Mugrabi. He was there in case he slipped up or injured, and we had a keeper to fill in the void. But now Raya's there, and it's, hang on a minute, I've got to be on my toes. 1-0, so far so good. Alrighty, kicking it off, second half, Watford getting underway. But yeah, bit of a reboot, focusing on, when you look at the players, Miranda, Toto, Patucha, Mugrabi, they are all decent, like, in that World Wonder Kid kind of bracket. Hopefully, look at that slide tackle. Damari Gray, Mugrabi stretches. Looks like he got a fingertip to it. Ward-Prowse fires it in. Eventually cleared. Domingos also in that Wonder Kid. Garcia, Stepanovic. So we've got like a core team of youngsters that hopefully, if they stick together, we can actually get over that threshold into Champions League spots and beyond. Obviously, this season, Europa League is on the cards. But I don't care. Let's make a change. Duarte as well was back in the fold after his loan at wherever he was. Piotto, you've so far not looking good. Fitchett did okay, I guess. So triple sub. Hopefully that won't mess things up. Last 10 or so minutes. Possible highlight here on the cards. Toto heads it back. Duarte. Loose ball. Here comes Watford. Ward-Prowse. Cisse. Come on, make a tackle, guys. On the left-hand side for Rui Suarez. Whips across in. It's deadly. Luis Fernando heads it home. And my little Tinkerman syndrome has kind of gone backfired a little bit. Show some passion, boys. So, yeah, still working on the formation, perhaps. It's going to be one up top, though, one way or another. Yeah, not the greatest start, but not... Hang on a minute. This should be it. Foul, but ref calls it a day. 1-1. Well, that, my friends, will wrap up this episode. Currently, Man United top the pops, but it is very early days. In the next episode, we're going to probably come back for the League Cup and Stoke game in the Premier League. So we'll bring you up to speed with the 1, 2, 3 games that you have missed. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe. Back here tomorrow, folks, as we continue this reboot with Rovers. Rovers Reboot. Maybe that's a new name for the title.
Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.